Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K channel, and today we're going back in the way back machine to some early. Do you know what? I'm about to say what year it was. I have no idea what year it was, but it's early. It could be either late 90s or it could be early 2000s. I don't know. No, me, it came out last week, but it's somewhere about 20 years ago. Let's go check out today's video. Well, that's the first 30 seconds. You've got to make a call on it at this point. So let's throw it to Andy.
You're right in placing it way back, Dave. If you said in the intro, early 2000s, I guess. Yeah, hooky opening riff, grabbed your attention. Looking at the vocalists, I feel I should know the band, but I can't place them. And I've got a few on my list, but yeah, it's one of them sort of classics. I think going back, good 20 years or so.
Yeah, I'm not sure what genre it is, metalcore-ish or something like that. I don't know, early metalcore. It's weird. We're doing a lot of metalcore type bands today. Everything feels like a variation of Killswitch Engage at the moment. But yeah, sort of similar sort of era of bands as early Killswitch, I'm guessing. Yeah, good starting. It's got straight into the point of it, so always gets me intrigued at the first 30 seconds to keep me going. Kirk.
I'm wondering if this is Seven Dust, but I don't remember it being as heavy as this. Because I really
hang on. Did you just go? There's a black guy singing, so it's Seven Dust.
I've got to be honest. It's like, is it Head P? Is it Seven Dust? And it might be because there are so few black singers.
That is true.
Is it one of the two? There was definitely no disparagement intended there, but you were right to pull me up on that. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to be intrigued by a song when the opening line is "worldwide genocide." That definitely gets your attention, doesn't it? When someone just takes to the microphone and roars that. What stood out for me, those drum triplets, the double kicks at the end of each bar, fantastic. I already love the production, and I would place this in the early 2000s. We can Google it after, but that's what I'm thinking straight away as well, Andy.
Okay, let's keep going.
It's our reflection, the remains of yesterday. What's good away from the destruction of all? From the destruction of all. The evidence forgets me. Running from cover. Let the world touch to the end.
Okay, that's the second pause and the final pause for today, I guess. So I guess we've had a chorus. It looks like we're going into a very Killswitch Engage breakdown bit there. So, or second verse or whatever it might be. But quick round around the rooms. Now you've had a chance to have at least kind of verse and chorus. Andy?
When I said I was going to take a guess at the band, it wasn't the two that Kirk mentioned because I don't know them. So he's probably more on the ball with that regarding himself. But I was thinking Bad Brains, but they're not as melodic as this. They're more sort of straight down hardcore. As you said, we've done a lot of metalcore today, and he's shied away from that sort of clean chorus. Although there was a little bit more melody in there, he very nearly strayed into it on one line. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. There's good aggression there. I like the sort of the stop-start guitar riffs, and the look of the video is really good as well. The lighting and the setting of where they are. Again, just a simple performance video in a good location. Doesn't need to have a story that fits the lyrics of the song, which you break down, I'm sure. But I'm interested to hear the song in its entirety and enjoying it so far.
Do you know what this? If it is early 2000s, it makes a lot of sense because a lot of the early 2000 videos didn't go down the route of storytelling. They went for performance, but with interesting settings, and then they went later on. They just went for performance with no settings whatsoever, i.e., black rooms became a big thing. So everything was about performance at this point in stage. So yeah, probably early 2000s. Yeah, good side track. I like the aggressive vocals over the chorus. And I did think just as it got to the end of that first chorus, there was a very clean bit coming in. I was like, please don't go that way with that clean vocal. It's a little bit too clean there, a little bit weak. But yeah, he's kept it on to the heavy. So we'll see if it goes maybe on the midsection. It might go very clean. Who knows? Kirk?
I love the aggression in the vocals. Really retained my interest in the song. Crunchy guitars as well. Excellent footwork from the drummer. Just what I'm looking for. It's interesting what you were saying about videos and how they evolved, certainly in metal, in the early 2000s. I think a pivotal moment is the invasion of Iraq. Within a few years, you get almost every video in a military hangar, don't you? Or on a military base. So I wonder if this is after 2003, because I'm getting those vibes here, certainly with the aesthetics. Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned it. Killswitch Engage. Even the verses remind me of My Last Serenade, the more aggressive parts of that. Don't get me wrong, they weren't the first to write a verse like that. It's the way that they pulled back with the chorus, where they took the influence from Mike Patton and Faith No More and made it their own. But yeah, I'm like you, Andy. I got Faith No More in there. I'm like you. I'm pleased that they didn't, I think you said it, Dave, I'm pleased that they didn't go down that route where it's like, here it comes, here's the clean vocal. It didn't, did it? It's really got a nasty edge to it, this song, hasn't it? And it's definitely more in the hardcore camp, if you take out the technical drum work, than it is in the thrash metal camp. So, yep, happy to see this one through to the end.
Okay, well, let's do that. That was weird. It just suddenly stopped. I'm guessing whoever uploaded it didn't like the fade out on it.
It was Andy that uploaded it.
They probably ripped it from like Scuzz or something when it was.
Yeah,
it probably had a transition piece they cut on it. So
yeah, Kerrang TV, MTV2, and Scuzz. You had 3 channels to choose from back in the day.
Back in the day, you know, amazing. Right, let's round it round the room. I'll tell you about the band at the end because I'm not going to be that nice and tell you about it in advance. So go on, Andy, over to you.
Yeah, overall, really enjoyed that. You know, the last section we listened to started with a sort of open string chuggy riff, which was really good, which continued for the rest of the track with enough sort of melody and groove to make it, you know, keep it interesting. There's a nice complementary solo without being too flamboyant and look at me kind of scenario. I really like that. On a negative though, the sort of clean backing vocals towards the end I could have done without. Either for me, take them out or make them aggressive and harsh as well. That didn't really work. And I think looking back at the whole piece and the, you know, the sort of the chorus and probably the title of the track, End of the World, came through a lot. You know, that was represented in the video. There's obviously it's got that sort of Mad Max post-apocalyptic sort of survival sort of settlement kind of environment, you know, where they're the survivors, they're in the little encampment, it's the end of the world. So I think you know, the performance element and the sort of setting suited the sort of lyrical content of the song. But yeah, that was really good, enjoyed it.
Okay. So for me on this one, I'm going to pick up one thing that just peeved me off about the video. 90% of the time he's singing like that, and then for about 10% he has a microphone. What's the fucking point?
Didn't spot that.
Why? If you could do the rest of the video with no microphone, and even the bits like it was only when he was standing in front of the drum kit, and it was only some of the time. It's almost like they shot a load of shots and he had a microphone on, and then he decided, you know what, this looks silly with me having a microphone all the time. I'm not going to use it. And then if you do that, just cut all the stuff with the microphone in. Just do one or the other, just for consistency. Sorry, that it just bugs me when I see that. I'm like, at least it was a wireless mic, so you could say it, but I'm like, bit of an annoyance there. Apart from that though, this is a band that truly understands what the assignment was when you've been given the tag title of metalcore, and what they don't do is they don't just sit in the middle and try and be a weird blend. They're like, do you know what, we're going to have a real cool hardcore section, and then the solos, they're like, we're going to do a metal solo at this point, we're not going to try and make it different, and then we're going to go to a hardcore breakdown, and they really like, you know what, we know our parts, and we're going to give you, this is a clear hardcore section. We're going to make it feel like a hardcore section, not like a blended metalcore bit. So I really like that. Again, yeah, probably the same as you, Andy. Clean section. I would have much rather that had been like a whispery, hushed breath bit if they're going to do it. And then he goes, "This is the end." Sort of something like that, a bit creepier rather than clean vocals trying to be eerie. I didn't really vibe on it. I understood what they're trying to do. And at this, if we think about when this would have come out, there was this big thing about this getting the clean elements in, so they were always trying to shoehorn those in. I think that was their attempt to probably try and shoehorn a bit of melody or harmony, if you like, into there. I don't think it was needed, but it made sense for that bit so that he can do the end of the world bit, or this is the end. But really liked his vocals, really loved all of the instrumentation of the track. So yeah, really good, solid track. Kirk.
The band we're probably not giving enough credit to that influenced this new wave of American heavy metal, as it was referred to in the early 2000s, is Trivium. I think they really spearheaded this with the critical acclaim they got, didn't they? I'd be intrigued to know what year this came out, because I always look at how Machine Head saved their career after that new metal album in 2001. They realised, hang on, our origins are thrash metal and hardcore. We've pioneered groove metal. There are bands like Trivium and Killswitch Engage. And then there are bands like In Flames from Sweden just playing traditional heavy metal solos. And it really refocused the mind of Rob Flynn and made him realize, actually, you know, I can do this and I've had an impact on some of this. Can I draw from some of the contemporary bands? This, I agree with you. They understand their assignment. Really flamboyant, heavy metal guitar solos. I mean that in the best way. Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, really well-crafted guitar solos. You're right, but when they go hardcore, it's rough, isn't it? It's almost like beat down, but there's a groove to it as well. So I think they were very successful here in merging those two styles, and the vocals were superb. Those backing vocals to be fair, there was a lot of clarity there. Dawn of a new age. You could hear what he was saying. Probably
Yeah.
just needed a bit more. Yeah, a bit more of a husky voice, didn't it, to deliver that? It reminded me in some ways. What was that band the guy from Spineshank went on to form?
Silent Civilian.
Yeah, I got a bit of that vibe in there
Yeah.
as well.
Okay. Right,
who is
so
it?
just to let you know who this is, this band was or is God Forbid.
God forbid. Oh yes.
It's the song "The End of the World," and it came off of God Forbid 4, Constitution of Treason, came out in 2005. So the band split up back in 2012 they finished, and they actually reformed last year for a festival. So they're back on the scene at the moment. Haven't heard too much about them as far as what the plans are going forward after their reformation after 10 years. But yeah, they are back, and they were one of the bands that sort of did tour with Killswitch Engage and all those sort of bands as well, and Hatebreed and sort of that sort of scene. So they did a lot of big tours with those. Lamb of God they played with and stuff like that. So yeah, there we go. God forbid. Now, if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the video sometime very soon. Take care.